Hey you guys, it's your girl JoJo, and I am back with another Zodiac chat. This is number 3, ending out Capricorn season. This is my very first voiceover video, so y'all just work with me. I am new to this. Um, some of you may not know this, but I used to do videos on my MacBook. But since it literally went up in smoke last year, I had to do what my pockets could afford. So I have a Chromebook now. And Chromebooks don't have a built-in video making system like iMovie on the MacBook. So I've been playing around with different movie makers to try to see what's going to work best for me. I know I could do them on my phone, but recording and editing on my laptop just works better for me. It's just the program that I really like to use. So I'm trying to find a system that I like to do videos on. So y'all may see some watermarks in the corner until I figure out what I am going to like. But like Martin said, I ain't paying the $5 until I find something that I like. And then I will pay for it or whatever I have to do. So today we're going to do our last video on Capricorns. As promised, we will be talking about reality show stars. And let me just put my usual disclaimer out as I do for every Zodiac chat video. I am not a Zodiac expert. I'm not an astrologist. I'm not a tarot reader. I just like to talk about this for fun. All right. So y'all know I got to say that every time. All right. Since I do reality television reviews, I felt like it was only right for me to bring my Zodiac chat over to the reality television side. Now, we have to remember that with reality shows, it's all about the drama. You got to keep your storyline. You got to stay relevant. So even though certain signs might be more calm, might be more chill, might be more down to earth, level headed, like a Capricorn, they will go to the extremes of their personality in order to stay relevant on whatever reality show they are a part of. So you have to keep this in mind as we go through our Capricorns on today. You may find some surprises, and we are just going to take it network by network and see what kind of Capricorns are gracing our television screen. So first, we're going to head on over to VH1 with our first reality star, none other than the HBIC Tiffany New York Pollard. Now, I know a lot of people like to say that Nene is the queen of reality TV, and that might be true today. But in my opinion, New York is the queen of this entire thing. New York walked so that Nene could run. Now, that's just my opinion. Now, it's worth noting that New York does indeed have a Gemini moon, so that is probably where a lot of her charismatic personality comes through on our television screens, but she is indeed a Capricorn. The Capricorn is still very much present in New York. You can tell in her take charge attitude. She is very much a leader. Capricorns are known for their innovation as well. And New York really pushed the envelope of reality TV before we even knew what reality TV was or where it was going to go. She was already becoming one of those personalities right before our eyes. She gave the viewers what they wanted to see, and she still does that to this day. VH1 has invited her back again and again and again for countless reality shows and debuts. So we got to know that sis keeps getting asked back for a reason, but she definitely does exhibit the Capricorn traits of innovation, of leadership, of being the HBIC, of hard work, of determination. So all of that definitely does show the nature of her Capricorn ways. All right, now staying on VH1, we will head on over to Love and Hip Hop. And there we will find Mr. Ray J. Now, over the years, Ray J has definitely proven to us that he is indeed more than just Brandy's brother. Like many Capricorns, Ray J is extremely innovative. He has started multiple businesses, including his Ray J earbuds that I've seen several commercials about, his foldable glasses that he premiered on The Breakfast Club that I cannot stop laughing about, his Scooty Bites, and his Ray J Sprush. Now, I know there have been some allegations of Ray J possibly messing around and not really getting out of that whole Playboy image, but I'm going to address a Capricorn and cheating or alleged cheating later on in this video. Although it may have taken Ray J some time to get on his grown man, he has shown himself to indeed be a family man. I can tell, at least on the show, that he does care a lot about his family. However, like a lot of Capricorn men can do, he is guilty of occasionally neglecting his family to do business and money related things. Y'all remember that whole blow up that him and Princess had back in Vegas? We've seen them have several arguments on the show about Ray J working too much. But overall, I think the love for his woman and his family does shine through, at least on Love and Hip Hop anyway. I always say that if there is any father that doesn't mind strapping on the baby fanny pack, taking the kids to the park, taking them on down to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, it's definitely going to be a Capricorn man. They can do that whole thing with the children, and it matters to them. It's really important to them. But that's only if you can pull him away from his work long enough to do so. All right, so I'm not trying to give Love and Hip Hop too much shine, but we got to shoot on over to the New York franchise and discuss yet another Capricorn. All right. So y'all remember on our last Zodiac chat, I discussed how Capricorns were ruled by Saturn. And when you're ruled by a certain planet, in my opinion, I'm not an astrologist, but in my opinion, you embody naturally certain traits and characteristics of whatever that planet is. However, they're meant to mold you and shape you, and you're supposed to grow and evolve into these traits so that they work out in your favor, so that you can have positive outcomes. So with Saturn, responsibility, hard work, tradition, things of age, all of these things are good traits, right? However, when you don't do the work to evolve into a well-balanced person with these traits, the scales tip and they produce very negative results. And this has been the case with Mr. Peter Gunz. So Peter has some really great traits. He's a talented rapper. I've heard that he's also a good DJ. He seems to be a fairly down-to-earth guy. Yet he never experienced that peak of musical success. He experienced even less success as a manager for his artist wife, Amina. And speaking of Amina, this leads me to Peter's issues with women. Now, I'm not a cheater, but I know the game enough to know that if you're going to step out on your significant other, the goal is to get in and then get out. Not catch feelings, not treat anyone like they're extra special, not lift up the side person, and definitely not to marry them. And this is what we see with Capricorns as cheater. By nature, they have traits of loyalty, responsibility, hard work. So when they cheat, they start to embody these traits with people that aren't their significant other. Next thing you know, somebody's fallen in love or extreme like. And we've seen this in the love triangle with Peter, Amina, and Tara. Amina was the side that became the wife and mother, all while Peter was still trying to get back with Tara and even got her pregnant for a third time. Another Cap that we saw this with was Lil Scrappy and his love triangle with Bucky and Erica. Bucky felt important, she felt valued because Scrappy took his good old Capricorn energy and put it in his outside relationship. We also saw him attempt to do this with another girl, but Bambi quickly put a stop to that. And if you all remember that episode, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But fortunately, Scrappy did learn the lessons that he needed to learn, and he's now moved forward and evolved in a positive direction. And now you see his Capricorn energy being used in his family. He is happy with Bambi, King Braylon, and E-Money, as they so affectionately call her. Peter, on the other hand, he just never really became that evolved Capricorn, at least from what we can see on the show. He just continued to move in a negative direction and has now left several children, hurt women, and a failed career in his wake. And it's not because he didn't have it in him to do better. It's just, he just never grew into that person. So, yeah, y'all, just terrible. But let's move on. Now, moving to the Bravo network, we have Miss Kyle. Cal is on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I'm not an avid watcher, I'll admit, of any other Real Housewives franchise. Last time I watched this show, I know that Cal, was kind of an enabler of her sister at times. And I know her and Lisa Vanderpump had some beef at one time. And I know she's not necessarily like a fan favorite. However, Cal does embody some of the Capricorn traits that I talk about. One of those things being a woman who is very well kept. She takes very good care of herself, hair on, outfit on. She has always been a well put together woman. She has that innovation, that hard work. I know at one point in time she did have a fashion line with HSN, which speaks to her innovation and, just getting into business, ambition. She has a couple of small boutiques still open. I don't believe she has her line with HSN anymore. But even when you go back and look at some of the clothing that she premiered, a lot of that clothing was very Capricorn nature, just very little black dress, very classic styles, timeless, kind of elegant a little bit. But yeah, just everything that a Capricorn embodies. So that's the little bit of Capricorn that I can see in Cal. And I'm pretty sure if I watch the show on a regular, I would be able to comment on much more. But, I'm not about to sit here and lie to kick it. Another Capricorn that we have on the show is Miss Sheree. Now, I'm going to tread lightly because I actually do like Sheree. Let's start with the good stuff. So, Sheree definitely embodies a Capricorn woman in her style and her put together. Like ever since Real Housewives of Atlanta came on, Sheree was never just looking real bad. Her hair wouldn't always be in my favorite style, but it was always well done. She was always good looking. She would keep herself up and she got better and better looking throughout the show. So she definitely embodies that. I just, Sheree did not evolve as a Capricorn when it comes to ambition and business. Like, I believe the ambition is in her, but as long as she was on Real Housewives, she never really reached that peak, that pinnacle in her outside business endeavors. So we can see this in some of the earlier seasons of Real Housewives with, the fashion show with no fashions. We see this in the line of joggers and athletic wear that she did try to put out. I don't even know if that website is up and available anymore. I know at one point it was not, but it just was not what we expected out of Sheree. She tried, but it just was not what we expected. And then to me, the biggest fail for Sheree was her exercise. Like, Sheree, out of all the cast members, has always had like a nice, naturally toned body. She was getting older and still was looking really good. And I think she made up a lot of her own workouts. She kind of did her own thing. And if anybody should have benefited from a workout DVD, it should have been Sheree, not Kenya, not Phaedra. It really should have been her because she was bringing that muscular, fit, toned body from the very beginning. So she's just a good example of a Capricorn who did not reach that level of ambition that y'all really can reach. If anybody can do it, it can definitely be y'all. All hope is not lost. Like, Sheree can still make a comeback because people do like her, but yeah, the business acumen just wasn't there. She's also extremely flashy. Even at, spiting her own self, she will try to get things done that aren't necessarily the best financially. Yeah. But in looks and in image, as a Capricorn woman, she definitely has it going on. All right, so the next Capricorn that we have on our list goes over to the OWN network, and that is Miss Reba from Ready to Love Season 2. Now listen, I want you all to get out of your mind the Tandy and Mario and Riva situation. We're just going to put that love triangle to the side for now. And we're going to have to admit that Riva is indeed a Capricorn boss. Now, my voice is really low now because everybody in the house is asleep, so y'all just work with me. But Riva, we have to remember, is retired military, which is a huge deal. Anybody who's in the military, who knows somebody in the military, you know, or at least you have an understanding that going into the military, putting your time in, and being able to retire is something that a lot of people don't get to say that they have done. She put her time in, she put the work in, she put the dedication, all the things that a Capricorn woman would do. You can also see the Capricorn nature in her style of dress. If you go through her Instagram, she has a lot of like mix and match type of pieces, nothing too outlandish, just things that you can wear over and over again and again. You know, Capricorn women are just good at finding things that look good on them and not necessarily what's going to trend. And Riva does do a lot of that on her page. On top of that, after she retired from the military, she still has her career in IT going. She is an IT professional. So, yeah, just very much a boss in all her ways. And you can definitely tell how important family is to her, but how much she doesn't mind mentioning that she's a grandma, not a Gigi, not a TT, not a Mimi, or any of those other names. But she's very proud to be a grandmother. So, put all that other stuff to the side and go ahead and give props for Miss Riva. Okay. All in all, she is a great representation of a Capricorn. I do got to give it up. Now, lastly, on the OWN Network, we have our problematic fave, I guess you could say, Martell Holt. Now, we could say what we want about Martell, but we have to give it up. Martell is definitely innovative. Had it not been for his idea to start the real estate company, the Holt and Holt industry would not be what it is today. So kudos to him for that. Very much a Capricorn move. And y'all know Martell like his props. So let's go ahead and give it to him. On top of that, you can definitely see the Capricorn male in him by the way that he handles his family, by the time that he spends with his children. He is a father who is completely unapologetic about the devotion that he has for his children and what he does for his children. So that really comes out. His Capricorn nature really comes out in that regard. Another place it steps out is in regards to his cheating situation. Remember what I was telling you earlier about being ruled by Saturn, loyalty, responsibility, wisdom, family, things of age. Well, he took all of those things and applied it to a woman who was not his wife and thus ended up in the situation that he found himself in. These are things that you don't take elsewhere. Do I believe that Martell will evolve and grow and let his traits work for him in a positive direction when it comes to his marriage? One can only hope. And we will probably see it all play out on the OWN Network next season. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all for joining me on this. Thank you for working with me on my very first voiceover. Hopefully it will get better from here. I will be uploading Family or Fiance hopefully by tomorrow afternoon. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will also leave you with a few more Capricorns that did not get mentioned in this video, but they are from other reality shows. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Bye.